A vecchio is an old rich buffoon. That's Pantaloon and Gratiano here. Their hypocrisy is often lampooned when scheming servants, the Zani, appear. But Commedia also needs lovers. This silly play has not one but two pairs, each kept apart by a father who hovers. They need a trick to conceal their affairs. Two faithful notaries to the rescue, or at least people pretending as such, who'll set this complicated plot askew. Sorry, the melodrama's a bit much. Though premarital sex is disgrace, a maiden's cold bed is a lonely place. A maiden's cold bed is a lonely place. Isabel pines for Horatio's vigor. She's virtuous, pious, far too long chaste, and really needs him to squeeze her trigger. Columbine, she calls to her loyal servant, find that man, sneak him into my bedroom. My dad, Gratiano, he's not too observant. Still, send Horatio round in costume. Next door lives the daughter of a miser. Flamina hopes Flavio will sneak in, leaving her dad, Pantaloon, none the wiser. Anticipation makes her knees weaken. As the sun sets, by the light of the moon, from a dark alley, a lover doth croon. From a dark alley, a lover doth croon. The dulcet tones draw Isabel's attention. Though hard to see by the light of the moon, must be Horatio seeking affection. She tosses her key down to the dark stranger, but that's not her boyfriend in the shadow. She doesn't realize that she's now in danger. Spaventa lets himself in down below. Next door, Flamina too flirts by mistake. When Gratiano wanders past half drunk, she invites Isabel's dad to partake, though she meant to lure Flavio to her bunk. Of course, neither knave will get past first base. Out of a window comes flying a vase. Out of a window comes flying a vase, soon followed by a bowl of polenta. My virtue, how dare you try to debase? Get the hell out of my house, Spaventa. But, stammers Spaventa, dodging flack, trips over his cloak and rolls down the stairs, as Pantaloon and Pedro are coming back from a long day handling business affairs. Stop being a pest. They pull out their sticks and proceed to give Spaventa some blows. The knave runs off, dodging Isabel's kicks. Pantaloon then heads home to change into bedclothes. Surprised to learn Flamina's not asleep, shouts are heard. Gratiano, you're a creep! Shouts are heard. Gratiano, you're a creep! Followed by the old man bounding out the door. He falls to his knees and begins to weep. Pantaloon, don't beat me, I beg and implore. Your daughter was the one who invited me. Said she loved me and wanted some kissing. I accepted her call. Ran up there with glee. Then things got weird. Don't know what I'm missing. Grati, my neighbor, says Pantaloon, please. You've put my Flamina's honor in doubt. Now you must wed her to set me at ease. You've been in her bed. You cannot back out. While Gratiano prepares to be wed, the next morning, Isabel stays in bed. The next morning, Isabel stays in bed as the two old men plan in the courtyard. So many wedding guests will need to be fed. Must first hire caterers, priests, and a bard. They are interrupted by Columbine. Gratiano, your daughter's a mess. My mistress just lies in bed supine, refuses to eat, take a bath, or get dressed. The two old men ponder as to the cause. Could it be she's fallen under a hex? Bet that rogue Spaventa did this because He's upset that Isabel refused him sex. Of course, that's not why Isabel's losing sleep. While to Harlequin, Flamina does weep. While to Harlequin, Flamina does weep. This can't be happening. Must be a jest. Tell me, dear valet, that I'm still asleep. How could father betroth me to that pest? He's short, he's bald, his palazzo is small, his farts have the vague scent of oregano, much too weak to give me a fancy ball. How will I explain this to Flavio? Harlequin sees she's quite melancholy. He wants to help, but this is quite a big mess. Lacking brains to concoct more than folly, he must find accomplices to seek redress. The servants meet, put together their heads. We three need a plan, the servants all said. We three need a plan, the servants all said. Murder, of course, is the first thing that they think, and the second. But the third time instead, how about a prank? Pedro says with a wink. He's the smartest fool in this coterie. First, we must obtain some black robes that flow, so our guy can pass as a notary. That's a medieval lawyer, if you didn't know. It's Harlequin's task to get fancy clothes. Pedro, meanwhile, will spread superstition. Columbine will use her sensitive nose. The three leave to get into position. Their mistresses will wake to a surprise. All it will take is a few clever lies. All it will take is a few clever lies, and Flavio and Horatio with masks. Pedro searches Venice until he spies Spaventa sleeping beneath some wine casks. Spaventa, you drunk, Pedro shakes him awake. Isabel's pretending to have gone mad. If you cure her, her hand she'll let you take. Just have to trick Gratiano, her dad. The trap now laid, Pedro does not linger. Tells two dads that Spaventa's a physician who can cure madness by waving his finger. Two gullible men have no suspicion. Though Spaventa thinks he'll soon marry, rumors begin to spread all around the Sesteri. Rumors begin to spread all around the Sesteri that Gratiano, well, that he smells foul. While the details of the smell do vary, it's often described as droppings of an owl. Columbine is the one sowing this tale. She knows just how to make gossip spread quick. Soon in the taverns over flagons of ale, people question, is Gratiano sick? The rumor soon gets back to Pantaloon, wonders why he never noticed the stench. That guy does eat an awful lot of prunes. Or worse yet, could Gratiano be French? Pantaloon ponders what this all implies. Flavio then arrives in his disguise. Dressed in black robes and putting on an act. A notary? Pantaloon says with surprise. You called me to write a marriage contract. I guess I must have, but there's now some kinks. Are there? Flavio says in fake voice. Pantaloon explains. Seems the groom stinks. Well then, we must discern Flamina's choice. Can't marry a lady without consent. I must interview this unfortunate bride, see if she's willing to accept the scent. 1 sec. The notary then ducks inside. While the bride speaks with the functionary, Spaventa comes on stage, being scary. His look gives Pantaloon apprehension. Isabel comes down, seeming unwary. She's in on the prank, I forgot to mention. Gratiano arrives. Please cure my girl. Spaventa in turn casts a spell, pretend, waves his hand, gives his fingers a whirl, and just like that, Isabel's madness ends. I'm cured, father, she said, and then smiled. She runs back upstairs to get herself dressed. Plain for all to see, Isabel's beguiled. Spaventa assumes everyone's impressed. But he'll find himself out on his fanny. Pedro makes an accusation, canny. Pedro makes an accusation, canny. He's not a real doctor. That was witchcraft. A warlock once did that to my granny, and soon after she fell down a mine shaft. This seems like a serious accusation, says a stranger whom everyone missed. There must be a long investigation. I'm a notary. I'm here to assist. Horatio, in costume, then does suggest, I must interview this unfortunate bride to see if she's cured or simply possessed. One sec. The notary then ducks inside. It happens before the dads ask, wait, can he? Devious servants comprise the zany. Devious servants comprise the zany. Devious suitors get what they came for. As they explore every nook and cranny, they deflower the maids 3 times or more. Finally the damsels satisfied their urge. Then, dressed in no more but soiled sheet, they throw open the windows and emerge. Father, they call, our fiancés, please meet. It's far too late now. The deed has been done. No choice but to accept these sons-in-laws. 2 couples' marriages have just begun. 3 servants again outwit the bourgeois. Curtain falls as Spaventa starts to swoon. That Vecchio is an old rich buffoon.